So let's talk about that a little bit. The investment. I see you, right, at different conferences and in different summits, and you're not afraid to kick the tires on new technology and to lean on technology as you need to. What are you looking at right now as far as automation, AI in your support center? And how are you doing the juggle of I want to automate this or use AI in this area, but I want to keep it human because my customers need it kept human and my staff needs it kept human. How are you juggling that in your role?
I take a different approach to this. Before I tell my approach, sometimes problems exist that you don't know how to solve it yet. And you need to be aware of those from a technology perspective. But I will always advocate for identify your use cases. So for us, the next initiative is how do we measure our team's performance on all cases? Because when we measure our performance, we use a KPI called CSAT, customer satisfaction. We send a survey. But even though our rate of return is about 6-7% in B2B, which is decent, and we make it very simple. We ask 2 customers and an opportunity to tell us more. We want to improve that to higher percentage. Like I always tell, like, why do you need to ask the customer their opinion if you already have the customer conversations? So we want to use the sentiment analytics and generative AI pieces. So that's one initiative we are doing right now. That's new, we haven't done. We want to explore that more. In terms of technology solutions, what I really appreciate with the growth of ChatGPT, the focus has been on customer service. A lot of people go, "Ooh, generative answers. What's the first use case? Let's look into customer service / customer support." So there has been natural adaptation and CEOs looking into VPs of support. Can we implement generative solutions? I want people to be careful with that because it can be a trap because there is a human element that you cannot replace. It's intuition. Again, B2C might be slightly different than B2B. So what I might share is you have to take your domain knowledge into consideration a little bit more. Humans needs to be there for the customers. So what I'm looking for, how can the tools can make the job for my humans to do their job so good they have insights. So like even this morning, this happened where we used the generative AI technology to send a case resolution detail and a post-summary meeting. Like, for example, we had this wonderful conversation and it's going to end. And then we go, what did we talk about? We had good conversations. So AI can help with those summary points, generating those insights. And to me, that's aiding us to be more effective. So that's the part that I want to really emphasize. A lot of people have the fear of that AI will take your job. If anybody is honest, we may not know what's going to happen in 10, 15 years. We don't know. It's moving. But what I know is you need to use it to your advantage right now to advance your career, advance your skills. So use it to your advantage right now. So that's another tidbit I have on the technology piece.
Thank you. What are you telling your staff? So you touched on something really important there, right? Everything's going to change. We know that. We don't know yet what that looks like. You have these tools, the meeting summary, right? Think of all the days we would be in back-to-back meetings and you don't have time to type your emails, to type your summaries, right? Now they can be typed for you. What are you telling your staff to do, or what are you providing to them to become more proficient on AI? Are you asking for certifications on AI? Are you encouraging a certain route for them? Because left to their own, it could be so overwhelming. They don't know where to start. Do you have something there for us?
Yeah, since you mentioned certification, one of the things we have done was I love this Salesforce Trailhead, the learning management system. It's free. So they've done a AI certification. Again, since we were on a budget that was free, I go, hey, AI is not going away. Let's learn it. Let's
Yeah.
learn it to benefit, and let's learn from an actual content that has been generated for the right purpose. So we did a little team exercise where a couple of us studied for the AI certification and we got AI certified. I did it as a volunteer basis. I didn't want to force it to people like, hey, you have to do that. So it was 100% volunteer basis. So we did that. But I try to coach my people. It's not there to take away your roles, is to simplify it. So I need to be also very careful with how I deliver my messages in team meetings, in conversations like this, because we talked about early on how we won the Stevie, and we talked about winning the hearts and minds, and that's part of it. And people will fear what they don't know. So in the team meetings, I advocate, and we have a section on tools we generate and we use. Of course, we use generative AI tools now, and people use it to their advantage. So we spend time in the meetings to display it's there to take away mundane tasks, repetitive tasks, which was going to be my initial message to my teams. Yeah, those cases can be good in the first 2 weeks if you just started, but why do we get 35% of our cases about login? That shouldn't be the, and we need to translate that message to the product team so they could reduce that. And last bit I will tell on this is I encourage my teams to be promotable. And if they work well with the other departments, they have that opportunity to move into other departments. I welcome them to stay in support forever. I like that. My average tenure in support in US in Zywave is 7 years. It's great. But I also promote people into other departments, to R&D, to professional services, to our legal team, to our CSMs. We also welcome that because that helps us to build the relationships with those departments, because they will help support. They came from the front lines to help the teams. Long-winded answer, but wanted to touch base on importance of not fearing, welcoming that, and using that to your advantage to be promotable.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love support people who go to other areas of the business, because they'll always remember their roots and what impact do they have. Like you said, HR, legal, it doesn't matter where they go. They know where they came from. So we just have a few minutes left. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Sure.
What are you going to do over the next 6 months? What are you putting your bets on? What awards are you going to go for? Tell me what this next 6 months of your life are going to look like.
It's interesting because we're going to take a step back in terms of operational excellence right now. So that we just talk about our goal setting, what do we need to do? And I am a person that like to go next, but I'm also telling myself, be careful not to push too much and make your roots so solid. So our next steps are operational excellence. So we are documenting everything right now in our internal documentation, our expectations. When we hire new people, we want to give them, it's almost like college days. When you start, you get this nice playbook. So we are trying to operationalize all that. Then we are going to look at through all of our cases, not just support, but also escalated to R&D, and read through those and understand what customers called about. Because support people handle one case at a time, and sometimes they miss the forest by handling one case at a time. So again, another operational excellence. I'm almost asking my people to act as a product manager. I know but it's such important to understand what are the different patterns and trends that we have open. So back to basics is actually what we are focused. The next focus is we have grown our team in our Philippines region. One of the nice things it's working remote is you meet people who really want to do the support role. And like we are very talented. We have talented people in US, but we also have talented people in the other parts of the continents. So we want to hire the best people right now and get that training up and running. So our next focus is training, enablement, making the story stick with the R&D so we get less cases, and back to basics.
Back to basics. I like it. I like the fact that you have your eye on the, if you will, the speedometer of change. And sometimes you do have to take that and pause.
Yeah.
because you can definitely just do too much change too rapidly, and it becomes that sprint pace right at a marathon, and it's not sustainable sometimes. So I love the pause. I love the back to basics. I think that'll serve
Yeah,
you well.
yeah, yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. Emery, thank you for making time to join me today and for sharing your story and for being an inspiration in the support industry. Thank you for having SupportLogic along with you on the journey. We're proud to call you a customer and we value our relationship with you.